We don't have to do the fucking knock things no more, right?
No, I don't think we... No.
Nice.
Now that I got the fucking rock band shit out of here, dude, we could go into this pro shit right here.
I don't know. It feels different, though. I wish you still had the mic, because it felt... I don't know. It had a feel to it. I guess the way you handled yourself with the mic.
Right.
Like a rapper.
I might even just start... I might even see what the deal is if I just hold this. Like this or something. But I don't know if it'll, like, fuck it up.
It looks funny, though, too.
Yeah, it does look kind of stupid, does it?
I wonder if it comes out of that, though. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it does. You can take this off. But I think it makes, like, a weird fucking sound when you hold that part.
Probably, and the wire will probably come out.
Scuffling out noise and shit.
And the wire will come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those weird conversations, huh? Just random as fuck. Do you ever like have a song that you listen to and you know word for word and you're just going for it and you're just like fucking singing it, and there's that certain lyric and you're just like, yeah, I'm not singing that part.
Elaborate.
So there, I always thought about, every time I hear this song, I always think about this and I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying that part. Like, I wish that rapper or singer or whoever it was really thought about the lyrics before they put that in there. Because this song's a banger, but that one part. So, you ever heard that song? I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
And then there's that one part where the guy starts rapping. He goes, I take sacks to the face. And he's talking about sacks of weed. But you're like, you hear it and you're like, yeah, I'm not rapping that part. I'm gonna stay quiet. You know, I'm like, I'm not singing that part.
I wonder when they were hearing him in the booth, they're like, oh, he's spitting. Yeah.
Well, it's a song about weeds. They're probably all high as fuck and don't even realize.
Right, and then they listen to it afterwards. Like, hey, like,
we probably should edit that. It's already at the fucking radio station, bro.
Jesus, dude, I didn't even know. I don't even like. The only comparison I can make is I never sing N-words.
Yeah.
On songs, like whenever I'm listening to like Kendrick or anything, I skip over the.
Yeah, that part.
You know.
Yeah.
I'll either like switch it out with a different word. Or, like, I just won't say it at all. And I'll just pause right before it goes into the next lyric.
Yeah, I've done that, too.
I know a lot of people that make that excuse. There's like, it's a lyric in a song. It's like, dude.
It's about respect, though, too. And,
right, it's like, what do you fucking mean?
Yeah, it's crazy, though, because in generations, like, there's different words in the way you speak. Like, I could think back of, like, at least 4 different ways I spoke growing up.
Right.
Like, I remember always saying dog. What's up, dog? Hey, dog. Da-da-da. I remember there was a part of my life where everything was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Right. Snap this, snap that over and over again. And then, you just get stuck in these fads, you know? Right. And then there was even a part where I talked like that growing up in Long Beach, you know? Right. And it was normal. It was fine. That's just the way we all talked, you know? I had black friends, I had Samoan friends, I had Asian friends, white friends. And, we just all, that's the way we talked, you know? But, now... Like, I would never do that. I would never even attempt like that. But it's crazy how you get stuck in the fads as you grow up and you use them.
Well, right. Like, I think, the only time I don't think, skin color matters when it comes to the N-word is, if you were raised in, trenches. You know, there's this fucking hilarious white kid that was, viral on Twitter. But he's, raised in the hood with a bunch of black people. He's, the only fucking white kid. White parents and shit, but he talks I
think you have to get that pass, and I think because he was raised around that, they give him that pass.
Yeah, and it's they kind of know that's where he's from, right? But I fucking hate this. I think we talked about this before. I don't know if it was on the podcast or on the drive home, but now people start doing it just because they think it's cool. Yeah. You know, when it's being raised around it and being taught to speak not taught to speak but that's how you spoke.
Yeah, the culture.
Growing up in it, the culture.
Yeah.
And just doing it because you're oh, that's fucking cool.
Well, we talked about it because when we were in Pismo Beach on vacation, we're walking down the beach, remember?
Right.
And that white kid goes by in his truck. He had a nice truck. Don't get me wrong, but he's bumping like some hardcore rap, and he's like sitting all sideways, like all exaggerated, like all like he's cool, and shit like that bothers me. Like I was raised in the hood,
fucking country ass.
Yeah, I was raised through that shit, and like if you've really been through it, it's not about like trying to be cool. Like he was doing it to be cool,
right?
And like it just irks me because you're like, I remember I even said out loud, I was like, I guarantee you, he's never even seen the fucking hood in his life.
Oh fuck no, that kid.
Like he's seen some homeless people on the beach every now and then because he lived by Pismo Beach.
Right.
But that's about as much poverty as that kid's ever fucking seen.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because he was young, nice ass truck. I'm sure his daddy bought it for him. You know, and I'm not trying to be a hater or a dick, but like, I just like it's not.
It's kind of disrespectful.
Growing up like that was hard. It was eye-opening, and it wasn't something that we did to brag about. It was just the way we grew up. It was the way we were raised, the way we lived. You know, I've told you guys how like we'd be sitting down watching TV, having dinner, and you got your plate of food, and you hear shooting, and you don't even react because it happens every other night. So you just go from sitting on the couch to sitting on the floor, so that way you don't get fucking hit by a stray. Like it was natural. You know, it wasn't something where, like, you go to school the next day and you're like, yeah, I heard gunshots, and you're acting all cool, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, kids like that were just, he's doing that to feel cool, but he's never felt the struggle of what it is to grow up like that, and shit like that bothers me.
Yeah, and, like, I've been through it more than that fucking kid has, and I haven't experienced anything. I haven't done anything. But, like, I have more fucking experience than that fucking kid does, for sure. Like, I remember I had a memory where it was like, we were at the apartment complex where we got our car stolen, and they were like fucking puffing weed out in the fucking porches every night. Yeah. It smelled fucking disgusting every night. Well, I didn't really mind the smell, actually. It kind of, when I smell fucking weed, it reminds me of like home for whatever reason. Yeah. But, like, in those apartments, I remember Grandma was watching after us, and they heard gunshots, and me and Lizzie didn't even react, but Grandma was like, get behind the couch, get on the floor, don't look out the window. We were like, me and Lizzie were looking at each other like, this bitch, what the fuck is she talking about? But, like, that's the fucking worst I've been through, and I've been through more than that fucking kid. Yeah. I've seen it more than that kid has. Yeah. Like, I always tell people this. Anybody that ever talks about where I grew up, I always say Long Beach, but I always say, like, when people always say, like, oh, you know, that's you know, I'm always like, well, not really. Like, it was just kind of like, I wasn't raised gangster or hood, or I wasn't, like, though the location was kind of there, right? But, like, I wasn't raised in it, because I always, like, bragged that I had parents that I was very fortunate to have parents that, like, would bring me into those areas, but, like, not make me, like, subject me to those areas. And if that makes any sense. Like, I was in there, I was with a lot of people who were hard and gangster. I fucking did hear gunshots. I did fucking, you know, whatever. But, like, I was raised, like, I was fortunate to have parents that, like, kept me away from it. So, like, it was just normal to me, and I didn't even, like, bat an eye. Yeah. You know, so, like, whenever there was gunshots, it was just like, oh, it's just fireworks. But, like, now looking back, I'm like, those were not fireworks. Yeah. Or it's like, when you guys would always be like, hey, stay inside. Like, you guys would always, like, change it to, like, hey, go watch wrestling with Fu. And then Fu would give me the time to watch WWE or something. Yeah. Like, I didn't even think about, like, these are all stuff where I was like, shit. Like, I was kind of raised in, like, in the fucking, like, I got a little taste of it, just a little bit, but I didn't even know at the time. Or how
about that time when Ronnie was holding that spot for the baby shower for, like, I think Derek or Dom, and you and Liz were little. And he was sitting, holding tables. And shout out Ronnie. He was on one of the episodes. Yep. Big Ron Dog. And this guy was like, hey, I'm taking one of these tables. And Ryan's like, no, you're not. And he's like, you can't hold all of them. He's like, well, I am. And it was like 2 or 3 black dudes. And they're like, well, you gotta, you're talking real big for a guy by himself. And Ronnie was like, well, why don't you come over here and find out? You know, like, it got bad. And then Ronnie was like, right away called and was like, hey, man, somebody better fucking get here. Shit's about to pop off. Right. And I remember I took off and I had you guys with me. Remember we had that green Baja bug, or yellow Baja bug? Right. And I remember rolling up in there, and I remember turning the car around so that, like, the front was facing the street so you guys couldn't see. And I remember telling you guys, whatever you do, don't turn around. Stay looking forward. Right. Because I knew shit was about to pop off. Like, we were going to fight. And, like, it was just me and Ronnie against 3 dudes. So, like, it was going to get pretty fucking bad eventually, you know? And I remember I just jumped out and I ran over there. And I remember just telling you guys, don't turn around. Right. Just stay looking straight. And then Jerry gets there, and Jerry had that little mini wood Dodger bat. He's like, fucking ready. Like, where they at? Where they at? That shit was funny.
How did that unfold?
They already left.
Oh,
they were left. Yeah.
They just bounced.
Yeah, I remember it was funny
They
though
gave
because
up on
Ronnie had gotten up early as fuck to hold that spot. So I got there and Ronnie was like, "Hey, I'm fucking tired, dude. I'm gonna go home, shower, get ready, take a little power nap, and I'll be back." And then Jerry took off, and they left me by myself there with you guys. And I was like, "Fuck, if these fools come back, like
We're fucked, dude.
But they waited for a little bit, and then nobody came back. Nobody came, and then they went, and got ready, and everybody came back, and we had the
yeah.
thing
So
going.
that's funny.
But
like,
we would just tell you guys, don't look, just don't.
Right, so like we were there and we were raised with people like, and when I always look back on it, there was like all my gangster, like all my like cousins and shit that were kind of
just about
that shit. Like I remember you guys would like keep us in a distance where we weren't subjected to it, like no drugs, no gang shit, right? But like I remember those cousins would instill little shit in our heads where it was like that's why like a lot of people were like they always say like when I get angry I get ghetto. It's because like those they instill a little bit in there, just enough to where it's not toxic and it's not going to get me in trouble. But like I was always like taught like be about your shit. Like if you're gonna talk shit, you better back it up. Like that shit. Like
don't say anything if you're not willing to do it.
Not willing to do it, right? So like stuff like that, right?
And that's okay,
right?
Like it's okay if you don't want to fight, but just don't talk like you're gonna, and then
right.
Because eventually someone's gonna call your bluff, and you're gonna have to.
Right.
And that's worse when you get punked like that.
That doesn't make me hood or gangster, but like that's just like how I was raised to like carry myself. Do
you remember that time at Stater Brothers when it was me, Nana, my mom, Mom, and I think you and Lizzie were there, and Anna, and over a parking spot. We were parking next to each other, and like a girl claimed she was waiting for a parking spot, but she wasn't, so I got it. And a girl was sitting outside waiting to talk shit to me about the parking spot, but didn't know Mom was right there. My mom was right there. And they start talking shit, and my mom's like telling her, like, shut the fuck up. It's my... And that girl was like, it's none of your fucking business. And Donna was like, that's my son. It is my fucking business, bitch. And then that girl said something, and my mom goes... And I remember I had just bought that car. It was a Chrysler Sebring, which isn't anything fucking great, but it was my first brand new car I bought.
For you, right?
And my mom was like, get the fuck out there, bitch. And she had her keys, and she slammed them on the trunk of my car. And I remember thinking, my fucking car? Like, hey, what are you doing? You know?
What the fuck?
What the fuck, my car? You know? And then, so then Anna, Mom, and I think you guys go into the store. And my mom's telling me we shouldn't go in there because she's going to fuck up our car. We need to stay out here.
Right.
So we stay out there, and she gets down. She's on the phone, and she's like, it's on now. It's on now.
The lady?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So she's calling somebody.
Damn.
And we're like, fuck, you know? And I remember we're at the Stater Brothers, so we're trying to call people, you know, like just in case.
Right.
And I remember we seen one of my Uncle Mike's old homeboys there. I don't want to say his name. He passed away, R.I.P. to him. But he wasn't about that life anymore, and he used to be gangster as fucking. He's like, hey, I'm not. We're like, hey, just back this up just in case. And he's like, I don't, I'm not like that no more, dude. And we're like, all right, man. And he took off, and we're like, fuck. And we finally got a hold of Javier and my Uncle David.
Ooh.
And so everybody shows up right at the right time.
Right.
And I remember Mom was trying to come out because Mom wanted to be all up in the business and shit. And we're like, stay in the store because like we're all about to fucking squabble outside of Stater Brothers, dude. You know, so we're like, stay in the store. But they're all, Anna, they're all at the fucking window like looking and shit. So we're like, fuck. And this minivan pulls up. And there's 3 chicks, that girl, so 4 to fuck up my mom. And then they had this tall, like 6'4" fucking white boy. But he was skinny as fuck.
Oh,
but
so he was twig.
But for me, so I'm like, I'm not the tallest motherfucker. So I'm like, all right. At least I got a fair fight. Sorry, Mom. You're gonna get jumped. I'm gonna see how I handle this 6'4" fucking motherfucker real quick, you know. And I remember we're like, oh, fucking, my heart's pounding. Like I don't care how gangster you are. Like right before your heart's always just you get cotton mouth. You're just like, fuck, dude. Sure. And like I've always told you, like I've never feared fighting. I just fear getting knocked the fuck out because that shit's embarrassing, you know. And so we're like, fuck, here we go. And then right on time, Javier rolls up with my Uncle David. Sitting shotgun in his gold Honda Civic they used to have, Janine used to have.
Shit.
And they roll up and we're like, fuck yeah. So they roll up right to me and I'm like, that's them right there. So they roll up on the car right up on them, dude. And my Uncle David, you know my Uncle David, he's a big motherfucker and he's scary looking. And he's just like sitting on his car out the window and then Javier all tatted down, everything just fucking staring up. And that white boy was like, y'all get in the car. We need to get the fuck out of here. You guys are acting fucking stupid. Get in the car. They don't want none, dude. And then as soon as we see them backing down, we're like, hey, I thought it was on. What happened? I thought it was on. Dude, fucking hilarious.
Dude, that's awesome.
So then it comes to find out, those people live 2 houses down from Uncle David.
No.
Yeah, so we all drove the same fucking direction, and my Uncle David was like, yeah, I know those motherfuckers. They live a few houses down. So that's why they're like,
because I know where you live, motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want no shit, dude.
Shit, dude, that's a crazy story.
That shit was funny, though, because we're like, wait, I thought you said it was on. What happened? I thought you said it was on. Remember you were on the phone? What the fuck? They're like, fuck you guys, fuck you. Homie was like, get in the fucking car. He's scared as shit, dude.
What's funny, nobody's going to understand this except people in our family, but when you said Uncle David, I thought you meant the other Uncle David.
Donald Duck, Uncle David?
Yeah, Donald Duck, Uncle David. I was like, Uncle David?
No. Janine's Uncle David.
Oh, yeah, that fool's fucking scary, dude. That fool's...
Yeah, him and Javier rolled up.
Yeah.
Oh,
did we? Speaking of fights, did we ever tell that Pismo story?
No.
I don't think we did, huh?
No.
That's a funny one too.
Yeah, it is a funny one.
So you want to tell it?
we can both go back and forth.
Hold on. How deep do we get into this though? Because we could get you in trouble if we share too. Does Mom watch the podcast?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna get me in trouble. She watches them. She goes through and she watches them.
Oh, she does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, should we skip that story?
Yeah, probably. Pretty much, people tried us, and
I fucking almost squared up.
Yeah.
Bitched out.
They thought they were fucking funny, talking shit to females. Didn't know they had us in a different car. So
right. I was excited to tell her, Mom, why stop watching the podcast, man? Stop being supportive. God damn, that would have been a great story to tell, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we talked about this right before. When I was about to square up with the kid, like right after actually, like when we were like, it was the dust settled, we ended up fighting, they bitched out, right? They weren't about it. I remember telling you, I was like I was ready to fight. I wasn't scared of this fucker, but my adrenaline was flying so bad that I was shaky.
Yeah, I get like that too. My adrenaline starts and my hands just shaking.
My legs shake, my hands shake, and I get when I'm fucking angry and I'm ready to scrap, I give off the impression that I'm scared.
It's the abundance of adrenaline rushing through your body. There's so much adrenaline that your body's like, it can't handle it. It needs to come out.
Get let out. Yeah. So like you were saying, like when I get shaky, it's just like, that's how you know I just need to let this shit out and just start throwing. Like that's how I am. And so like whenever I used to fight, I told you this before in the past, when I used to fight, before any MMA fight, that's why I would hop left and right and shake both my hands.
Yeah.
Just so they wouldn't see that I was like pumping with adrenaline, shaking, because I didn't want anybody to think I was a bitch, because I wasn't scared. I was just like so amped up that I was fucking shaking.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I don't know, the fucking fighting stories are amazing. That's a great story for the podcast, dude. What a great story for the podcast. You have any other ones?
Those ones I was telling you in Vegas, I went to that bachelor party in Vegas.
Oh, that one is fucking funny, dude. That shit is so funny.
So the first one, I won't tell the second one because we know we have other listeners that'll get in trouble. But I'll tell the first one.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So we're like, I go to my brother-in-law's a bachelor party in Vegas, and it's with his brother and like 3 of their best friends they grew up with. Right. So I'm kind of the outsider. I already know him. I just know my brother-in-law, cool dude, and his brother who I started to get to know. And we're gambling, we're drinking, we're having a good ass time, and we go to this. We're looking for like somewhere to party in, so we go into this it's not a club, it's like a bar inside of one of the casinos.
Right. And
they're playing music and shit. So we're sitting there, we're ordering drinks, and they're like, "All right, let me get fucking 9 beers and 9 shots," and like we're racking them up, we're sitting there just chilling, and we look over at the bar, and my brother-in-law's brother, he's like sitting there, and he's like, you could tell he's visibly uncomfortable,
right? And
he's like looking at this guy and like looking around, like he's being really like, and we're like, what the fuck, Mm-hmm. So then finally he comes over and we're like, hey, what's going on, dude? He's like, that fucking guy won't stop fucking staring at me, bro. He won't fucking stop. And he's like fucking weird looking. And we're like, who? We're like, oh yeah, he is kind of weird looking. And we're like, he's like, he won't fucking stop. He just fucking stares you down. But like, it's not fucking mean. Like he has this weird like fucking smile or something. It's fucking weird, man. We got to get the fuck out of here. And we're like, dude, we just got here. We just ordered a fucking round, our second round. We just took shots. Like, just got here, bro. We're waiting for the beers to come. We already paid, Right. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, we gotta fucking leave. Shit's gonna pop off. So, of course, when you're drinking, you get that liquid courage. You think you can fucking fight everybody.
Right.
So I'm like, let me go see what's up with this fucking dude.
Yeah.
You know, so I go over to the bar, and I'm thinking about ordering me a shot. I look over, and the dude's looking at fucking, like, just, like, weird, but his eyes are cocked, like, weird looking. So I'm like, hey, this motherfucker is, like, is he just fucked up?
Right.
What the fuck's going on? So I get my fucking thing, and I go back, and I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker, I don't know, dude, like, it's fucking weird. And then that guy, he's like sitting there with somebody else, but he's not looking at the other person. He's looking this way, and whoever's sitting right there in that chair. And we're like, maybe he's just, you know. Anyways, eventually they get up to move to walk away, and this guy grabs something from under the bar, and he's walking away, and it's a fucking cane. The dude's blind. So he's sitting there not looking at nobody because he's fucking blind, but he's looking in the direction where we're at, and he's just like, you know, but he has like, his eyes are like cocked, and he's just got like this weird, like sinister look. Like he was a scary looking dude, you know, meant no fucking harm. He's just sitting there enjoying his beer, and we're like, the fuck you looking at, man? Like, what the fuck's your problem?
The fucking blind dude.
The dude was fucking blind, bro.
Starts fucking y'all up.
And
fucking Daredevil.
Once we realized the guy was blind, we laughed hysterically, which kind of made it like uncomfortable, because then it came across that we were making fun of him, but we weren't. We were laughing at our buddy that was like fucking freaked out, saying that he was mad dogging him, trying to fight him. We're like, dude, he's not even looking at you.
He can't see.
He can't see. It was fucking funny though, man.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, when Ronnie comes back, because we're getting Ron back, dude. You guys gotta tell that fucking story again.
Yeah, I'll save that story for Ronnie too.
Yeah, we have to get Ronnie back for that story, dude. Because you two telling it together, I remember after that podcast we were watching the Dodger game, and I think that was when Derek Lewis and Gain were fighting. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys telling it to me, and I was hysterically laughing the entire time, bro. And
then we should add Jerry, because Jerry was there.
Right, but get Jerry's side of the story.
But poor Jerry was like our chauffeur, dude. Like, we wouldn't let him do anything, because me and Ronnie were getting fucking plastered.
Right.
Acting a fool in so many different locations. It was my birthday, and for people that don't know us, my second son, Derek, his birthday is the day after mine. So we went out for my birthday, and Ronnie's Derek's godfather. So, like, it was all bad because we went out for my birthday the day before, and the next day we were planning a party for Derek. It was just fucking all terrible. Bad, dude. All bad. Bad mix, man, but fucking hilarious stories. Like, had a great time.
This podcast, like, we could get 50 episodes easily with just the stories that you guys have.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to get Gabe on.
Yeah.
My Nino, my godfather. I can't wait to get him on.
He's fucking funny, dude.
One of the funniest people.
Yeah, the fucking stories I have with that guy, too. Yeah, he's one of the funniest fucking people.
And then we have, we should try to get Javier on.
Yeah.
Javier would be
all he'll do is talk shit to me the whole fucking time.
That would be funny. And then who else can we get on?
I wanted to get Ron and them again. I wanted to get, Drew and Mike G on for an episode. Andrew. I just wanted to talk to them about, like, they're like the second generation, like you are. Right. So, like, me, Ronnie, Joe, RJ, my cousin Little David, like Ruben, we're all first cousins, you know. And then Mike G, Andrew are all my cousin's kids. Just like, you're my kid. So, like, I just wanted to get your guys' perspectives together in a group on, like, watching us grow up, hearing our stories, like being the next generation.
That
just
would
like
be a great episode.
Just to kind of see how you guys see things, and how, like, you guys are going through different things than we did growing up, you know. So different generations and different perspectives, you know.
Different perspectives, different struggles, for sure.
100%. And I just wanted to kind of, like, dig into that a little bit, because, like, for the most part, our podcast is really sports based, comedy based, you know. Right. But to get in some real shit like that and just kind of see how things are going, and, like, how you guys see things differently. Because there's a lot of times where we're talking about the same thing, and we have the same exact end goal, but we both see it getting to that end goal differently. Right. Yeah, different journeys, you know. So, like, to see you guys, how you guys see things. And
it's in our DNA, so, like, that'll be an interesting episode, but it'll also be funny. It's in our DNA. It's in our Vasquez blood. We just, like...
Fucking hilarious.
We're fucking witty. We just make jokes.
We're, they call them quips. Like, we just really quick comebacks. You don't think about it. They just fucking blurt out. And sometimes my quips can get me in trouble, because I'm like, oh, fuck, probably shouldn't have said that, you know? Like, that was borderline racist, or that was borderline this, or that was borderline, you know? And it's like, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just talking, you know? That's the first thing that popped in my fucking head. So a blurp, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Right, so that episode, I'm down for that. That would be like a, like when we did the Supernatural episode.
Yeah.
It'd be like that where it's interesting and we're like talking about whatever and we're getting into it, and then we add a few jokes here and there.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would be pretty dope.
I already talked to Mike G. He said he's 100% down. He's off on the weekends. I just got to talk to Andrew, see when he's available, and then maybe just to get a different setup. Maybe see if we got a setup at Ron's house,
right,
or something like that, or maybe Joe's or something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know Mike G all too well. I want to start fucking streaming with Andrew.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
He's fucking funny, dude.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said he's trying to get a PC and shit too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like to start streaming, I'll fucking hell yeah, dude, fucking do your thing, Andrew.
Yeah, we got to get him on there, and then we've mentioned him a couple of times, the nicest guy in the world. We still haven't got Rob on.
We got to get fucking Rob on, dude.
Rob, a super smart dude, very smart, very well spoken. He's just generally a nice guy. Right. It's crazy because our family's very chaotic with our personalities. We're very outspoken. We're very loud people. We're very I don't know. We're just kind of different, and Rob just fits in perfectly somehow, and he's just so nice, and you're just like
not like everybody else.
Yeah, but he's also funny too, and he says some funny shit, and you're just like, man, Rob, I love you, man.
For sure. Our fucking family, man. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, I can't wait to get Gabe on. I talked to him the other day, and he had said he has like a wedding in September. He's trying to get a job up here in LAX, and if that works out, he's gonna be moving down. He said he'll come over more often on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah, to watch wrestling together every once in a while.
Yeah, and get him on the podcast. Get him on the podcast a few times. He was like, I'm so fucking nervous though. What do I say? And I'm like, dude, it just flows. We just talk, man. You know?
Yeah, I say this with every guest that's been on. I always tell everybody, like, hey, it's like how we normally act, normally talk. There just so happens to be a camera and a microphone in front of us. Yeah. But it's normal.
100%.
We literally talk like it's normal. Because what people love, especially in the podcast world, is like they love... it's not a word, but you'll get the idea. It's a made up word, but genuinity.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
People like fucking raw, like real shit.
Yeah,
and like a lot of people, like I've always felt this way with the Basement Yard. Like a lot of people always say with podcasts, they're like, I like this podcast because it makes me feel like I'm in on a conversation that I'm not a part of.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they're listening in on a conversation. Like they're there. Right?
I feel like that's the way it should be.
That's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
And we always said that we didn't like, when we started this podcast, we didn't like the scripted shit.
Yeah.
Like we kind of like it to have that natural flow, where it's just kind of like you guys are just kind of listening in to us talking.
Yeah, like we're not like when we say stuff that's funny. Hopefully, we say stuff that's funny that makes you guys laugh. But we're not trying to make people laugh.
The only plant thing is the fucking seed. Everything else, like we plant the seed in the floor, we water it, and then it just
let it go.
Something else. Before every episode, what do we start with? All right, cool, and then we start from there, and then it ends up spiraling out of control. Almost
every episode too, it's like us talking right before, like, hey, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? Like, I don't know. I don't really have anything, and then we just start talking about it, and then all of a sudden it just branches out.
Right. This podcast started with us talking about a lyric about sax in someone's face.
Taking sax to the face.
Taking sax to the face.
I take sax to the face. No. Yeah. Not me. And
to very quickly though, we have some shit for this podcast. Not only are the guests going to be amazing, not only is this kind of just a document of our lives and what's going on, but like this is going to be for our kids. And what I like about us bringing family on is it's like my kids are going to be like, that was my fucking great grandfather's fucking cousins and shit. Like that was what I was raised around.
Our bloodline.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know. I just think that's fucking cool. And then, we have some other shit planned too. So not only are we going to do like the guests and shit, but we have like, I can't really say it because I want it to be a surprise, and I don't even know if we're actually going to do it. But we have some shit planned for entertainment value.
We are going to do it. It's just about getting the right pieces in for that stuff, you know?
Right. It's going to be fucking entertaining. To give us a hint, we're going to fucking hurt ourselves on camera for about an hour. I
might be a little bit okay.
I'm gonna be fucked up. Yeah. I got too much mom in me, dude.
Yeah, I'll be hurting, but I'm not gonna be hurting like you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah, I got too much white person in me, dude.
Yeah. If that gives you enough of a hint. I'm full blood Mexican. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else were we gonna talk about?
Oh, like fears.
Fears.
I had this. I don't know. I think it was a dream or something, and I was like, man, I'm gonna ask Xander and I'm gonna wait for the podcast. I was gonna ask you like, but it's like a weird question because I know the quick automatic answer, but I'm not looking for that answer. It's like the most odd fears that you have. So like I know you hate fucking spiders. Like what is it called? Arachnophobia,
right.
Something like that. So like I know that like those are common. Those are common fears. Mm-hmm. But do you have any other fears that are not common that you don't know that are common that you've had? And I was gonna segue that to say what mine were. So like I've always had. Well, I've gotten better over the years, but growing up, I had this really bad fear of dying in my sleep.
Really?
Like and like dying in my dreams. So like, what is it called when you know you're dreaming?
That's lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming. Like I would have lucid dreams. I knew I was dreaming, but I didn't know how to wake myself up.
Oh, I've had those.
And then I would realize that I was in a dream, and then I had to remind myself to breathe. And I'd be in a dream trying to breathe, and if I didn't, like there'd be times where I'd lose path or like of my breathing, and I'd wake up going, and I'd be afraid, like, dude, one day I'm gonna fucking not breathe in my dream, and I'm gonna fucking die in my sleep.
Dude, I've had a couple of those when I was a kid.
I fucking hate them.
Those fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah.
You had those a lot?
A lot.
Damn.
A lot, and I'd wake up, and then I'd be like, I don't want to sleep. I didn't want to sleep because I was afraid to die in my sleep.
Yeah, I've had one where that happened, and it was like 2 a.m. I'm like, all right, guess I'm staying up for like 24 hours because I'm not going back to sleep.
And then I felt like my own brain was going against me because knowing that I was afraid to suffocate and not stop breathing in my sleep, I would have dreams where I was out in the middle of the ocean on a surfboard, and my feet were stuck to the surfboard, and then I would get flipped upside down in the water, and I couldn't flip back over. So then in the dream, I'm like trying to hold my breath because I don't want to suck in the water. Right. But then halfway from me not breathing, I realized like, oh my god, this is the point where I'm gonna die because I have to take a breath and I'm gonna suck in all this water. And then I realized I'm breathing underwater.
Right.
I'm dreaming.
Right.
But then literally the dream would be underwater, stuck and just waiting there, remembering taking a breath in, out, in, out, waiting to wake up.
Right.
Fucking horrible. And then I'd start to like forget, and I'm like, okay, you're not remembering how to keep your pattern, and I'd freak out and I'd wake up.
Right, like you just fucking, dude.
Do you ever have fears like uncommon fears like that?
I can come up with a couple, but they play into something else, I think.
What do you mean?
I don't know, they could be considered, one of them could be considered claustrophobia.
Okay. Because
like I have a fear of not being able to see. Obviously, like the idea of me going blind makes me freak out. But one of them is actually, like, it plays into dreams now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I thought about it. I was like, I'm coming. I was, like, thinking, like, I just unraveled, like, a part of my life. Like, I just fucking therapist-ed myself.
Therapist-ed?
Psychiatrist
You're making up some cool fucking names today, or words today, dude.
Man. They should have hired me back in the day. But one of them actually plays into dreams, too. I have a fear of not being able to speak.
In the dream?
So, like, in the dream, I have a fear of not being able to speak, like, not being able to talk.
Like being mute?
Being mute. Because, like, in my dreams, like, I would always, like, be put into situations, like, in nightmares, where I'd be put into situations where I would try to call for help, and you just wouldn't hear me.
Oh, fuck.
Like, I've had dreams like that, and that probably plays, like, if I talk to a therapist right now, like, that'd probably unravel a whole fucking road where my mind would be fucking, like, blown, because it'd be like, you know what? That's probably because your fear of not being heard, and it just like goes down that spiral. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, man? I'm a midlife crisis and shit.
Do you hear me now?
Right. So like, which is pretty funny because everybody who knows me as the guy who fucking talks way too much. So like, I've actually had dreams where like, where I was like drowning in quicksand.
Oh fuck.
And you were turned around from me, and I was calling your name to come help me, and I just fucking drowned, and I woke up. You didn't hear me.
Oh, hell
like,
no.
I've had dreams like that where, like, I couldn't, like, I would try to yell, and it would feel like air's coming out.
Was that like that one day when I seen you by the stairs, and you're like, I know you fucking heard me, Dad, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Was it that day?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, let's get down here. Let's go down this path. I don't remember this shit.
You just hit me at the stairs. I fucking know you heard me calling you, and you didn't want to fucking help. What are you talking about? It's like your mom always, like, there's times in the morning, because I get up really early for work, and mom will be up, or I think she's up, and I'm like thinking, man, I can't believe she's barely going to sleep, because like there's times I know where she's like half asleep, right. And there's times where I'm like, she's wide awake,
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, your lunch is in the fridge upstairs because there's a room downstairs." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Or she'll say stuff to me, or I'll talk to her about things, and then I tell her later, and she's like, "I don't remember that." I'm like, "You don't remember talking to me this morning?"
Right.
She was like, "Oh, I was half asleep. I must have been asleep." Like, no, you were wide fucking awake talking to me.
Right.
And she's like, "Nope, I don't remember that."
Yeah. And, like, I think it plays into my childhood, too, because I, like, a lot of, like, my anger and frustration growing up was not being listened to. Like, I would, like, verbalize, like, things that I was struggling with, or, like, talking about, like, what I had problems with, like, whether it was with friends or family, and they just wouldn't fucking take it in. They wouldn't listen. So, like, I think it grew, like, that fear of, like, not being heard. So, like, in dreams, like, it would, like, when I would, like, try to talk, it would be like nothing would come out. And I'd freak out.
And that feeling of, like in Mexicans, we call it ansias, like the ants, like antsy, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah,
just
it's like
about
the
it makes me
hopelessness, like you just can't fucking do anything. And it would always be in dreams where it was like, I'm trying to call for help, I'm gonna fucking die by Freddy Krueger who's behind me, and nobody could fucking hear me, so I just gotta accept my fate and fucking die. So it would always be dreams like that would fuck me up. I had a question. Let me get it back.
I had a segue of mine, not a segue, but a part to add on mine, and I lost it, and I just kind of went in with yours.
What were you talking about?
Not being able to breathe, the fear?
No. You were talking about
I hate when this happens, dude.
Fuck, man, I had a good topic that I wanted to ask you.
So we talked about this the other day while you're thinking about it, and I don't know, did we talk about it?
I remember. About what?
Oh my god, or maybe I was thinking we were going to talk about it, but I thought I seen it on the internet, but I thought maybe you sent it to me. Maybe you sent it to me, that's why I'm thinking that. But you know how we talked about different dimensions and shit?
Right.
And they were saying it was saying that what if when you forget something, it's because someone's writing the story of your life and they deleted that part. They're like, "Nah, I want to change it," and that's why you don't remember it.
Right. So like that's I sent that to you. It was like a
that's
text,
right.
and it was like
that's so fucking weird to think about.
What if you're trying to remember something and then the person writing your script backspaced?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just read that, you're like, what the fuck?
Why don't you write me some better shit, dickhead?
Fucking asshole.
Why can't you write me win the lotto, son of a bitch?
Writing a fucking sob story, you fucking piece of shit.
Fuck.
Oh, I remember my question now. And it kind of plays into, not the dimensions thing. It doesn't play into the dimensions thing, but it's an interesting question. Would you rather have at least one, like, dream every night that you remember for every night for the rest of your life, or would you rather never dream again?
Depends on the dream.
So
because if
I have
it
a
was,
great answer to this one.
Because if it was like dreaming my grandma or my grandpa and being able to spend time with them again,
right.
Like I would take that every night.
Right.
But if it was like some random shit like me eating a carrot with my armpit, you know what I mean? Like then I'd be like, I don't fuck, I could do without that.
The answer, the best answer would be to never dream again. Because I don't know about you, but in my personal experience, I've had dreams that have impacted my days. Days where I've woken up sad because of a dream, or woken up angry because of a dream, or woken up extremely happy because of a dream, or waking up feeling a certain way about somebody because of what happened in the dream, and then I have to like snap out of the like, oh, that was just a dream. And I feel like if you dreamed every night, you would lose like a sense of reality of like what's real and what's not.
Like in a way. That Leonardo DiCaprio movie,
right? Where it's like, are
Inception?
The dreams real, or you would forget which are real memories and which are fake memories, because there are dreams that are like so close to reality that you don't even think. Yeah, you wake up like, oh, that didn't fucking happen.
That's that movie Inception, 100%. And I love that movie. It's
really
a great fucking movie. You should watch it. But they say that everybody literally dreams every night.
Right.
You dream every night, but then within the first, I think they said like 15 seconds of waking up, you've already forgotten 50% of the dream, and within 30 seconds to a minute, you've already forgotten all of it. Mm-hmm. So like whatever you do when you do remember you dream, like it's very rare, but you dream every night the entire time you're asleep, supposedly.
Right. Like, so like I've had a dream where like Derek, my little brother, was being a fucking massive piece of shit prick in my dream, where I was just like, man, fuck you, like I fucking hated him, and I woke up and like Derek was like, hey, Xander, and I'm like, oh, and I was like, what's up, Derek? And I was like all angry at him still, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It was a dream, dude.
He's like, what's your problem?
Right? It's like all in a good mood, all happy.
What the fuck's wrong?
Warzone later?
What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, so I would never dream again, because dreams have impacted my days, and if I had a dream every night, I feel like my dreams would have too much control over my life.
I've never been impacted by my dreams, so I don't think it would bother me some. Like,
Right.
if anything, I always wake up happier no matter what. If it's a bad dream, I wake up happier because I realize it was a dream.
Right.
And if I had a great, happy dream, I'm just happy that I dreamt it and I love the feeling of it, you know?
Yeah,
so,
like, it's a 50-50 toss for me.
Yeah.
Because either I'm going to wake up, like, feeling a certain way about somebody or being angry or sad or depressed or whatever, or I'm going to wake up being super happy. Like, I've had days where I was like, it was the fucking worst day of my life, and I went to bed crying, and then I had an amazing dream, and I woke up like, let's fucking go. That yesterday didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's a 50-50 for me. I would say never dream again, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it bothers me much. So
Yeah,
I'd be fine. I think because I do get those good dreams of seeing my grandma again or my grandpa, just seeing them, I wouldn't want to lose those opportunities to have those memories with them anymore.
Right.
So I think I'd still dream. It doesn't impact me enough.
You know what's another interesting question is? Would you rather never have to eat again for the rest of your life? You could live just never being able to eat for the rest of your life? Or would you rather, like, never going hungry? Or would you rather never sleep again for the rest of your life? And those questions are, like, there's pros and cons to both as well. There's not a clear cut for one. Because you have that, like, amazing sensation of eating a good food.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the pros of, like, giving it up is you wouldn't lose weight, you wouldn't gain weight.
You gotta take no shit.
You don't gotta take no shits, like, you're good.
Like, man, hey, I really like this movie, but I need you guys to pause it real quick because I have to take a shit.
Right.
And then I'll be back.
Right. And, like, with fucking, and then you would be like, man, I won't have the need to want to eat this watermelon anymore or this fucking dope pizza. Like, it won't be as good.
Well, it depends.
And you would never even need it.
If you're born not knowing it, it wouldn't bother you. But if it just stopped halfway and you knew how good those things were, then it would impact you.
It would fucking suck.
Yeah.
So, like, from here on out, like, that's a good point too. So, like, and then with sleep, it's like, man, like, I could never sleep again for the rest of my life. I wouldn't need it. I'd be just awake from all of it. Like, it'd be good. I could get so much shit done. I could do so much shit. I could go to so many places. I would literally not waste a minute of my time getting rest. And then you think too, like, man, a long day going to sleep is the fucking best. On your fucking bed with your pillows and blanket, you're just like, let's go. Like,
but if you never go to sleep again, you wouldn't have that tiredness to want to go to sleep.
Right, but, like, I'm just saying, like, that good feeling of,
yeah, it's like the same thing with a good burger or something. You're
right.
Just like, oh,
so
it's so good.
It's like kind of like the same question, but
I'd rather never sleep again.
Yeah, probably, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Because I do enjoy food, and then I just feel like, because I already feel like I waste so much time sleeping. And moms always tell me I don't sleep enough, but it's because I feel like I'm wasting the day, you know, or my life. And they say the average person sleeps 17 years of their life. So imagine what you could do in 17 years.
Right. That's a good point.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Right. Yeah, I would go with never eat again. Because of my medical conditions, I already, like, have less of an appetite than everybody else. But, like, with the sleep, like, there's been days where I was just like, man, I don't want to fucking, like, I want to sleep this off.
And to your point, like, there's been times where you're just tired and you lay down and you have, like, the air's hitting you in that perfect angle, the sheets on, the pillows hitting perfect, and you're just like,
right.
It's great.
It's like, with sleeping, you get to skip a day. Like, if you have a shitty fucking day, you're like, I'm going to sleep this one off. It's a new day tomorrow.
Or, like, we both hate driving, and you get to, like, I always end up having to drive, but you get to, like, just, I'm going to crash out, and I'll wake up fucking a couple hours later, and the drive's almost done.
You'll be fine, yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to, like, skip time, almost.
Yeah, but you're also skipping life, which just sucks.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, that's a tough one.
And I feel like eventually you'd get bored. Because you would just be like, God, like, I already did everything in a week when, you know, with sleep I would have gotten it done in 2 months.
But I also feel
I didn't waste a minute of anything, I got to do everything in, like...
Sleep is so addicting, though, and such a good feeling.
Right.
That I absolutely hate. The worst feeling I ever feel every day is when I first wake up.
Really?
To get out of bed.
Right.
And you're just like, I want to continue sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you let me, I'll go fucking 18, 19 hours of sleep. But I have to force myself up, especially for work during the week. I get up and I just sit there and I'm just like, I say a quick prayer, like, thank you, God, for getting me up.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me the strength to handle the day. Give me the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I hate it. That moment of just like, and then I look back and I see your mom like all comfortable just out. And I'm just like, fuck. I wish I could go back to fucking sleep, you know? And I'm over there and I go splash cold water in my face, brushing my teeth, do my hair, get dressed. I'm just like, oh.
Right.
And then once I'm kind of up, it's all right. And then I go get me something to eat on the road. And then I put a pot like Tiger Belly on or something or King of the Sting. And then I kind of, it gets me into my happy mood when I hear them. They make me laugh, you know, and then I guess it releases endorphins or whatever the fuck you want to say. You know?
Whatever science there is with that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you wanted to segue? Is there anything else? I guess we'll just topic right now if there's something you come up with.
No, we could switch topic.
So, tonight, as we're recording this, it's Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul. Make your final prediction. So tomorrow you could either be right or wrong.
T-Wood.
T-Wood?
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna say.
It doesn't have to be a prediction. It could be like just a very broad one where you don't even make it specific.
So the other day I heard an interview by Daniel Cormier, DC, which I respect very much, in the wrestling world, the MMA world, all that stuff.
He's a fucking legend.
Combat sports in general. I respect that guy so much. And he had said something because he had beef with Jake Paul.
Right.
And he had said in there, he was like, regardless of my beef with him, he was like, I still don't like the guy. I still don't want nothing to do with that guy. But you have to respect the fact that Jake Paul is he's training hard every day.
Yeah.
He's taking it serious. And
right.
because of that, you have to take a fight with him serious.
Right.
So I still think Tyron Woodley, but I don't think it's as easy as it should be going against a YouTuber. He's not a YouTuber no more. This guy's a legit boxer now.
Right.
You know, so I think... do you know how many rounds it's going? Is it like an 8-rounder, 4-rounder?
We could always look it up. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
Because I kind of feel like... I should say...
5 round by round. Price limit will have... Okay.
Like, I want to say... Like, if it's going 4 rounds, I want to say it's going to go...
I think it's a 6-round fight. That's my guess. In the main event of a card on Showtime, taking out impressive KO victories. How many rounds are they going?
You could probably put, like, how many rounds? I love how you could put almost anything in a search engine and it'll kind of, like, guesstimate what you're talking about.
Right.
And you'll eventually find it.
Yep.
8 rounds.
8 rounds.
Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley, 190-pound catch weight, 8 rounds.
Holy shit.
So, with that being said, like, yes, Woodley should fucking win it.
Right.
Being the more experienced fighter and stuff.
Right, he's gone the distance.
He's gone the distance, fought for a long time. He should have the gas tank. But I think Jake's taking it a lot more serious. I think he's been taking it serious. So, I don't think it's going to be like a 1-round knockout.
No.
For either guy.
Nope.
I think it's going to go a couple rounds. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be an actual good fight. It's not going to be like everybody keeps on saying, hey, this fucking circus. And I even called it a circus before. Right. Like, I actually think this one's going to be a legit good fight.
So you guys was actually struck before.
And
it's Tyron Woodley knock out Robbie Lawler, who's like one of the...
Yeah.
So. And
I don't think it's going to be one of those ones where, you know, I think they're both going to be composed enough that they'll be able to take a punch. Where in, like, the Nate Robinson one, he took a punch and all of a sudden you see these fucking haymakers all over the place.
Right.
And it's all stupid. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be a legit fucking tactical fight.
Right. And so, make predictions for both.
What do you mean?
If Jake's going to win, it's going to be... If Tyron's going to win, it's going to be...
If Jake's going to win, it's going to be because Tyron didn't... Because he has gassed out in the past.
Right.
It's because he has a better gas tank, and he's going to end up doing like what Mayweather did to McGregor, where McGregor was just too tired, and they're going to stop it.
They're going to stop it. Which round?
6.
If Paul wins, you got him 6
stoppage.
Striking?
Yeah. Stoppage. If Woodley wins, I'm going to say knockout by the 4th because he doesn't have a gas tank, so he's going to want to get it done sooner than the 8.
I think that's fair. And my prediction, and we'll make specific predictions. Like we went both predictions on both sides. We're gonna lock in one.
Okay.
So that way, if one of us were right with one of the sides, we'd be like, "Hey, we did say it would be like that, though. If it were the other way around, so we would be right." But like, we're gonna if we were making bets, we'll do the other one.
Okay.
So I think we do have a bet. I don't know if we're gonna disclose what the loser gets, but we are making a bet. I bet that Jake was gonna win. He bet that Tyron was gonna win.
Yeah. If I won, you're gonna get number one dad Eric Vasquez tattooed as your first tattoo. I already got your name tattooed on me, so we're right here. Fucked. So you're already in trouble.
All right. So very quickly, I want to say one thing too. You made a comment about Daniel Cormier, one of my fucking favorite fighters ever. He's one of those guys where it's like you could have dinner with, 5 people. Like if you could have dinner with any 5 mixed martial artists, he would be one of them.
Yeah.
Living or like dead or alive, like he would be one of them for me. Like Daniel Cormier is the fucking man. I met him before when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I fucking hate my younger self. Let's make that very clear. But also, like, I'm fucking jealous of him because if I were to meet Daniel Cormier now, I would have savored that a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like I met Daniel Cormier before he
was still in Strikeforce.
Yeah, he was still in.
He's a Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix champ, I think.
Like I fucking wish I would have met him now.
I love his friendship with Khabib too. They have such a good friendship.
Anytime I see Khabib and fucking Daniel Cormier in the same tweet, like in the same sentence, I'm like, I'm watching this.
Yeah,
because they're fucking
funny,
hilarious, dude. Yeah. So okay. So if Jake, I got Jake winning. I got Jake. I got Jake 4th round KO. 3rd round KO.
KO.
Knockout. Yep. Sleeps him. Because towards the end of Tyron's career, he did get fucking slept badly by what's that fool's name? He didn't get slept, but he got fucking dropped. And he was just practically fucking done. Like I think in the 3rd round, Jake's gonna hit him with something nasty, and he's gonna fucking fall over, and he's gonna be too stumbly to get up, and they're gonna wave it. Because it has happened before. I think Kamaru
fucked him up.
Kamaru fucked his ass up. No, it wasn't Kamaru. Kamaru just beat the ever-living shit out of him for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Who was the one who knocked him out? I forget. Whatever. But it's happened, and it's towards the end of his career. I don't think Tyron's, like...
Was it Gilbert Burns?
It might have been Gilbert Burns. Yeah.
That guy hits like a motherfucker, though.
That guy's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's fucking crazy. Like, he's a guy that I would be afraid to, like, be on the opposite side of the octagon. He's just, crazy Brazilian, dude. You're just like, he's like fucking screaming, like making that weird, weird face he does. He's screaming and his like one eye's larger than the other one. He's just, it's
like fucking Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, just fucking one eye large open. And he's just fucking screaming like I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, I gotta fight this motherfucker.
What the fuck's wrong with that
guy? So yeah, I think I think Tyron took it serious. Like not super serious as he needs to. I think he took the training super serious. He trained with Floyd Mayweather. He learned a lot of shit from Floyd. He was obviously training, had a great boot camp. I think what he's gonna miss on is underestimating Jake. I think that's where he's gonna fall. Underestimating Jake.
Where else it might be too is if he gets too emotionally invested.
Yeah.
Because on the press conferences with like that guy fighting with his mom, one of the entourage for Jake Paul's group. Like, if he gets too emotional and he just wants to go in there and try and knock him out, Jake's going to catch him.
Right.
And that'd be another way he loses. He gets knocked out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good point, too, because who, like, fell for that every time was fucking Cody Garbrandt with TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Both times he fucking got over-emotional and got fucking slept.
Yep.
Which, fucking so unfortunate. What an unfortunate way for
I love Cody Garbrandt, dude. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch.
For him to lose, he went into that last fight off topic very quickly. He went into that last fight where he got the ever-living fucking horse shit beat out of him for, 5 rounds? Got the fucking dog shit beat out of him. He went into that fight like, I'm not saying no to anybody. I'm a fucking fighter. I could wait for the belt. And he went into that like, I'm gonna get a title shot. I'm just don't want to shut anybody down. Like, I want to be a fighter.
Yeah,
right?
Which is
and
legit.
He went into that and got fucking smoked.
By what? Font? Was it Font?
Font, I think. Yeah. And then lost his fucking title shot opportunity. Like, that's fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think if Jake will sleep him, not sleep him, but will win KO 3rd round. I think Tyron, Tyron's gonna win, I think Tyron will win KO 5th.
5th?
Yep. I think he'll crack his ass in the 5th.
Well, and then you got to wonder too. Jake hasn't gone the distance yet.
Yeah.
So does he have the gas tank?
And when one thing that's like a kind of like a fact is your jaw fucking becomes less and less durable the more you get tired.
Yeah, because you start gasping for air, so you're opening it. It's not clamped down anymore.
Yep.
You know, and you're not just going off your nose.
Your hands start to hang lower. You know, your hands become heavy to keep next to your fucking head. I think Tyron will sleep him in the 5th. I think with Jake, if we're listening to what Jake is saying, what Jake is saying is true, that he's sparring world-class boxers, that he's he's going through the ropes, which I believe him. I believe he's actually 100%. Sparred like some high-class dudes. I think he's actually put in the fucking work. I think he trains like an actual boxer.
Yeah,
like what a boxer agree. Would. I think he trains that. He is taking it serious. I think it'll be the same situation but flipped if Tyron wins. I think it'll be Jake just like, oh, he's a little guy. He's out of his prime. I think if Jake loses, it'll be him getting tired and then getting overconfident. Like, I think what could go wrong, what I could see as a possibility is, like, Jake just trying to knock him out in the early rounds, and then, like, because of his confidence, like, I'm going to knock this fucking dude out. Instead of boxing smart, like, he's going to try to sleep him in the first 3.
What do you say, make a meme out of him?
Yeah, and then he's going to get fucking gassed down and get fucking slept in the 5th. So I think tonight's going to be a good fucking fight, dude. And I think, regardless of what anybody says, oh, Tyron Woodley was more so a wrestler, it doesn't matter. I think right here, right now, is a true testament to whether or not Jake should be taken serious.
Yeah.
Because he's fought nobody who could box.
Yeah.
He's fought nobody that could box, right?
Yeah.
And one thing we were talking about in the car ride, I don't know if you've said this on the podcast, you probably have, but, like, this dude's fucking smart. We have said that the Paul brothers are smart.
Yeah.
But I don't think we said it in the specifics for Jake. In Jake's instance, I don't know if it's his management or his team or if it's actually his, like, plotting, which I wouldn't doubt it's his plotting. That or the Paul brothers have a great team of guys that they just brainstorm and come up with
PR people?
Yeah, just
public relations.
Just come up with good plans and shit. But if you notice, every single fight that Jake has had has progressively gotten stronger and stronger in competition levels.
Yeah.
He fought fucking Nate Robinson.
Just a basketball player.
No, before that, he fought a fucking Anderson Gibb, I think, was his first fight.
Oh, yeah, on one of those other cards?
I think it was. Yeah, so he fought Anderson Gibb. Anderson Gibb had been training in boxing and had been for a while, so he was a little bit more experienced than Nate, but he was like 5'7", was obviously way heavier than he should have been. He shouldn't have fought 190 or whatever the fuck they fought at. Like, he was like 5'8", 5'9", maybe even 5'10". He was like fucking, trying to box this fucking 6'4" fucking dude who walks around at that weight. So, like, that one, and plus Anderson Gibb is famous for being a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So he went him, and then he went up to an actual athlete who didn't have any boxing experience, but did, like, he was an athlete, he was athletic. He did, do some training, didn't spar, which was the fucking most absurd shit. How do you fucking prepare for a pro boxing match and not spar your fucking guy once? Yeah. That's not even Nate. That's gotta be his coaching staff.
Yeah.
Unless he was like, no, I'm not sparring. I can't do that. No. Which I doubt.
You gotta be able to feel what a fucking punch coming full force that he's gonna feel like.
And if that's his coaching staff, dude, those motherfuckers are dumb. How do you prepare your fighter for a boxing match and not prepare somebody who's never been hit in the face to get hit in the face?
Yeah, they made a fucking ugly meme, dude. Like,
ugly meme.
He was out for a while. They couldn't wake his ass up for a minute.
It was crazy too. Like, I don't know how they didn't stop it the first time he got slept.
Yeah, we were all like, he's done, dude. He's done.
Fucking slumped over, his like fucking body jiggling and shit on the floor, and then he like somehow got up, and then he ran into the fucking another punch, and he was just fucking out, all jiggling on the floor and shit, unconscious, like he fucking died. Just
he don't remember the second one.
No,
he was fucking completely mentally out of it. The first one.
He went to hiding after that shit too. I've never heard from Nate Robinson since.
I think I seen somebody take a picture with him at a basketball game or something.
Right.
Might be Max Crosby. At like a celebrity thing in Vegas.
Right. And we'll transition from Jake because I have one more question before we end the podcast. But and then he went from Anderson Gibb to Nate Robinson, and then he went to a person who's actually been in the mixed martial arts scene, Ben Askren, but wasn't a striker, but was actually in the mixed martial arts scene.
But his fucking bell had just recently been rung nasty, though.
Yeah, so but no, it was a step up from Nate and from Anderson. He was a combat sport person. He was a combat sports person. And then now we're actually into somebody who is a wrestler, that wasn't a fucking striking phenom, but he was a fucking...
known for people knocking people the fuck out.
People the fuck out.
Yeah.
So he's progressively gotten higher and higher and higher. And since Tyron has actually knocked people out, knocked out Robbie fucking Lawler when Robbie was the champ, right?
Yep.
Like, he's not actually knocked people out. So he can strike with the best of them.
He's got power.
He's got fucking power. He knows how to strike. He struck with the fucking best of them. Like, he didn't just wrestle people down and rely on his body weight playing on top of people.
Like Askren did it. Yeah.
He actually fucking struck with people. So this will be a true testament on whether or not we should take Jake serious.
I think we do.
Right.
I think you have to.
If Jake went 8 rounds and won an 8-round bout with Tyron Woodley, I would be like, he's a boxer.
Even if he lost and he went 8 rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he won 8 rounds and won, you'd be like, you gotta take him serious. Give him a boxer.
No, but I'm saying like...
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, like you have
Even
to.
if you lose,
lasting that
have,
long.
Like, yeah, and if it's like if he was getting fucking the shit beat out of him for 8 rounds, that's one thing. But like if he like went like to distance and was like it was actually close to the 8th round, like to your point, and lost, I would be like, you still gotta give him some reps, dude. You gotta give him some fucking street cred there, dude. So like, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a great fight, but I have to ask you this: some shit's going down with Logan Paul, Myles Garrett. Cleveland Browns talking shit, saying he'd sleep Logan Paul. Jake coming to his defense, being like, he's a fucking real boxer. He would beat the fuck out of you, this, that, and the other. What's your opinion on that? A lot of people are like, like, he's... And Jake, I think, compared him to Nate Robinson. Like, saying, like, last time somebody from, like, a sport that wasn't combat came in, they got knocked the fuck out. And people were like, no, this isn't... You can't compare Myles Garrett...
No, Myles Garrett's a big motherfucker.
Myles Garrett is 6'5".
Yeah.
Weighs like 233.
Yeah, there's not gonna be like no close weight class with him and Logan. Like he's gonna outweigh him by a lot.
By a lot, and it's gonna be pure muscle.
I will say if Logan is smart and actually boxes him in a boxing match, Logan will win.
Logan will win, but I don't think he'll get...
But if they're going for like fucking, if Logan's trying to go in there and knock him the fuck out, he opens himself up to get cracked too. And anybody that big, anybody can get knocked the fuck out.
Right.
If you let Myles Garrett put his fucking fist on your chin,
one punch.
You're going to get knocked the fuck out.
Yep.
But if Logan goes in there smart, he fucking works a jab, doesn't try to do it in the first couple rounds, says, hey, I'm going to take this motherfucker in deep waters. I'm going to gas his ass out. I'm going to fucking jab, stick, move, jab, go 3-4 rounds. And now when this motherfucker's tired, I'm going to light his big ass up.
Right.
Logan will win.
Right. And here's what I'll say. It's not unheard of somebody, just having raw power and no skill.
Yeah.
I will say he is fucking... I've seen his fucking training videos. He is getting fucking some, like, fundamental skills in. But Deontay Wilder is one of those people.
Yeah.
He was just fucking huge and had so much fucking power that he didn't need skill. He didn't need to throw in combinations. He just needed to hit you with one.
Just needed enough to get in there with one.
He just needed to get you with one. Like, he didn't need to go, bop, 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 bop. Like, he just fucking, boom, boom, and that was it. And he would be out cold unconscious. I could see that with Myles Garrett. Just teach him how to throw a proper punch, and all he needs is one, and he'll fucking...
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're going to have to teach him because he had a fucking helmet in his hand, and he couldn't knock out fucking Mason Rudolph, so...
Right.
There's not much power in that fucking overhand right when you have a helmet and you hit someone with no helmet on, and you don't knock him out. Right. Like, that fucking picture looked like he cracked his fucking skull, and either
he had
Mason...
one guy covering him.
Either Mason Rudolph's got a fucking noggin on him, or he ain't got much power in that fucking swing.
and we like, to add on to the Myles Garrett thing, when KSI beat Jake, KSI didn't have much fundamental skills. He was very wild with the swinging out like this.
Yeah.
And that's how Deontay Wilder boxes too. If you see Deontay Wilder when he's swarming on somebody, he just... Yeah. Like, he's not like, like he's not tight. He's just fucking wide.
Yeah, and I will say Logan's come a long way from that fight though too.
Oh, a long way.
Like, I'd actually be worried for KSI because KSI's got so much more going on in his life.
Right.
He's not focusing on boxing the way Logan is. Like, it'd be a different fight the second time around.
Oh, 100%.
Well, and I like KSI.
That first fight shouldn't have been a draw.
Yeah, true. So speaking of third or money draws or other fights, let me ask you this. So we already know it's part of the contract. If Jake loses tonight, it's automatic rematch. Yep. We know that. Yep. Okay, Jake wins. What's next? Who's next for him?
I think you give him like somebody an actual boxer, maybe I don't think he'll go for anybody that has a name. I think he'll go for a boxer, and a legitimate boxer who's like 5-0 maybe on the come up. I think that's who you give him next.
Not Chad Ochocinco.
Chad just
he looked
put
good.
Some respect on his name.
Yeah,
man.
he looked good in there, dude.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
He was quick on his feet. He popped a good jab. Had great combinations. And like the only thing, what fucking sucks about that is the only thing that anybody remembered from that fight was him getting cracked.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, he looked fucking.
He
good
was whipping that dude's ass, and that dude's a bare knuckle fighter.
Yep.
Like he was working that fucking guy.
Yeah, and the only thing that people talk about, remember from that fight, is him getting cracked and put on the canvas. It's like, dude, no, he fucking looked good. He got hit with one good punch.
The other one I think too is, have you seen that Jake's now beefing with Jorge Masvidal?
Oh,
and they were friends. They were like on videos together, like being friends. But Jake went after him, making fun of him when he got knocked out all nasty by Usman.
Yep.
Like fucking, he's like tweeting shit, like talking shit to him.
Yep.
And Jorge tried to say something back, and he fucking roasted Jorge, and he like hashtag fucking super necessary, like,
damn,
like I'll fucking sleep you again, pretty much. So maybe they're setting up because, like we talked about, he's a smart businessman. He sells fights. So yes, I think the smart move would be, like you said, give him a boxer that's up and coming. But like these guys if you're in the money too, like you can't take a step back because then people probably won't buy to watch that. They want to see him fight a big name.
Right.
So I'm thinking a Chad Ochocinco, a Jorge Masvidal.
Right.
I don't know, somebody like that.
Right. I don't think Chad will do that because I think like that one fight was just like I want to.
And Chad's pretty smart. Like he's realistic.
Right, and I think he only entered that ring to be like, I just want to experience it.
Yeah, he said that too. That. Like his interviews were super cool. Like to hear him talk about it. Like he's just so like, hey, I'm not dumb, but I'm not fucking scared either. You know, right. I think he'd go if it was presented to him, he'd probably be like, I can't beat him. It's not a smart fight for me. Right. You know what I mean? Like I did it. I know where I'm. I know where I'm at in that fucking scale, and it's not on their level. Like I'm good with that.
Or you give him a bare knuckle boxer.
Yeah.
You could give him one of those too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways he could go. I'm looking forward to figuring out who he's gonna box.
What goes next?
What goes next?
For sure.
Like he could fucking. Like I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if like after this fight, like in a few months from now, we hear he's fucking signed a contract to fight Conor.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I wouldn't fucking doubt it.
Because Conor's about that money too.
Yep.
I honestly want to see what's up next for Mike Tyson. So I heard he was gonna get. Right. I heard he was gonna fight Evander Holyfield again, and fucking Holyfield looks good for his age.
Right.
That'd be a good fucking scrap. The last time they fought, fucking Tyson bit his ear off.
Yeah.
So you know, like I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna wear headgear.
I don't want to see Mike fight in an exhibition again.
No.
I'm sorry, I just don't. I want him to actually try to knock somebody out. Is that fucked up? Like, I want to see fucking Mike Tyson try to actually knock somebody out.
So he's just got to go somewhere where they're going to sanction him. Like, last minute they were pulling that bullshit and the state didn't want to sanction him. Like, it was never supposed to be an exhibition like that. Like, they were supposed to have knockouts and everything. And then all of a sudden the state was like, you know, somebody gets hurt. These guys are older. Let's do exhibition. Like, the legal part comes in and people act all fucking stupid and act like bitches. But, like, this guy's a fucking trained killer. Listen to him talk. He even says, like, I should have been born in the fucking Viking days or a gladiator.
Right.
Like, that's the timeline he should have been born in.
For sure.
He's a fucking straight killer. And that's what he wants to do. Like, let that motherfucker go. And if he dies in there, I guarantee you that's probably the death he wants.
Right.
To go out on his fucking shield like a fucking warrior.
Yep. I wouldn't doubt it either, yeah. I would watch it, obviously, but I just wouldn't be as stoked. So I'm just like, I want to see them actually try to knock each other out. Like, I want to see a full fucking fight. Like, I think even Mike said, like, when he fought
Roy Jones Jr.
Like, he like took a bunch of fucking drugs right before so he would calm down and wouldn't try to fucking
smokes weed. Yeah, he gets all fucked up.
Yeah, so like,
you know, Roy Jones Jr. was scared as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Even the after interview, he was just like, and Mike's like, let's do it again. He's like, you know, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, fucking Mike's all full of adrenaline. Let's fucking go again. Do that. Like,
that was fucking great. That was great.
It was so electric.
I could go another 6 rounds. Like, and Roy Jones just like.
No, we already
we'll talk.
My gloves are already off.
Yeah. I'll talk to my agent. We'll see. Like, he didn't want to do that shit again.
No, fuck no.
I wouldn't either.
He just wanted to go in there for his kids. I guarantee, like, he wanted to go in there and be like...
And then I think for his legacy, too, to say, hey, I was one of the best in my time, and I fought one of the best in his time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, different weight classes, but, like, you know,
It was fucking
still
dope.
legit.
It was like such a memorable moment. Like,
yeah,
that was a part of history that I'm glad I got to experience.
That's like, you know, you get an opportunity to face, you know, I don't know, Clayster in a 1-on-1,
right?
Just for fun, just for you guys, and to say, hey, you know
career.
what? I went 1-on-1 with him, dude.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I idolized growing up. Because he even said I idolized Mike Tyson. You know, everybody did.
Everybody fucking did. Yeah.
So like to be like, hey, we're in the same fucking sport together, and you're gonna allow me to go in an exhibition just for fun. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, like when fucking Allen Iverson talked about playing Michael Jordan. He was like, damn, it's fucking Michael, you're my hero. And then he was like, I'm not that much of your fucking hero if you crossed me up like that. You see that fucking player, he just fucking diced up Michael Jordan, hit him with the fucking mid-ranger, and he's like, oh shit, he just fucking diced up Michael Jordan. He's like, you're not that much of I'm not that much of your fucking hero if you want to fucking do me dirty like that.
Yeah, motherfucker. Don't ask me for an autograph after, you son of a bitch.
You're right. So yeah, man, it's gonna be good fights tonight. I think that'll do for the podcast, though.
Yeah. So when this comes up,
we'll see.
On Monday morning, it already happened.
We'll
see if our predictions are correct.
So we made a bet. I bet on Jake. You guys heard how I thought he was gonna win.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be specific rounds, obviously.
I got T Wood.
Let's go let's go Paul. But I mean, since we put a bet on it, I gotta go. Let's go Paul.
Yeah. Let's go good fucking show, dude.
Let's go good fucking fight, dude.
Yeah.
Because as fans of the sport, that's all we ever want.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some fights where we're just like, I don't know who this other guy is, but I know fucking Francis Ngannou. I just want to see Francis take his head off.
Yeah, for real.
But there's fights where it's like Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. We're just like, I want to see a fucking gladiators go to war for 5 rounds.
Yep, 100%.
And just throw until they can't stand anymore.
Yeah, so hopefully a good show tonight.
Hopefully it's a good fucking fight. None of them are listening. But shit, good luck to both, man. It's gonna be fucking scrap. I'm looking forward to it as a sports fan. It's gonna be fucking electric.
Yep. Same here.
You could find the podcast at SIAE Podcast on Twitter, Stuck in the Elevator Podcast on TikTok and on Instagram. If you want to reach out to him, he runs the Instagram account. He does not have any social media, but I do. I have a Twitch that I started streaming on more recently. I've done 3 streams already in the past, 4 days. Bucky Barney with 2 Y's, twitch.tv/Bucky Barney with 2 Y's, and then Bucky Barney with 2 Y's at the end of the Barney on Twitter as well. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting like Uno rage tages and shit of me fucking getting mad at my friends on Uno on fucking YouTube. It should be in the description. Xander OP3 on YouTube. Thanks to everybody again for listening, man. It's crazy because I was thinking to myself, in between podcasts, I feel like we skipped an episode for whatever reason.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Do you get that feeling too? Where you're just like, God, did we miss an episode? But you're just like, no, we've been
very consistent. Yeah,
it's like become a norm almost.
And that's all I asked for. That's all I've ever wanted. Just be consistent. Like even if we get down, like I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few times I look and I'm like, we only got 20 views, right? But then I'm like, hey, thank you for that 20. Those 20 that are always there, fucking love you guys, dude. We're gonna do something. We're gonna get some merch or something.
And I remember too to shout out fucking Ronnie again because we've been saying his name all fucking podcast. But yeah, right before when we were planning that episode with the guys, I remember that's when we had hit a hump where like nobody was watching. We were getting like 20 views, 30 views, and we were just like, fucking sucks, not that many people are listening. And then we called Ronnie and he was like, oh, you remember this episode and that episode? We were just, and it made us feel good because we were like, damn, there are people listening. You know? Like
he knew every episode. He was like, 2 episodes ago, you guys were talking about this, or last episode, you guys were talking about that.
Yeah. And it made us feel good. So like hearing that, knowing that people are listening, and like people reaching out to me being like, oh, that part of the fucking episode was fucking hilarious. Yeah. Or whatever. It's just like, damn, like I really only need like 3 people watching. Yeah. Like that's fucking cool. So
the right people are watching.
The right people are watching. Yeah. If you support us and like what we do. Share the podcast around. Tell your friends about it who may be into podcasts, or maybe even small talk. Oh, I got fucking a friend. I got these guys. Check them out. That run a podcast. Like you should check them out. They're pretty good. Or they talked about this. Like so we plan on releasing merch and doing some shit like that. So make sure you go support any way you can. Like the video, comment down below, share it around. Yeah. That's it. Woodley versus Paul tonight.
T Wood, baby.
That's that.